Well, welcome to the Golden Lighting Quarter 1 2021 release. They have a lot of great product, a lot of line extensions for us to look at today. You'll notice a few new ones as well. But before we get started, I just want to remind you that the pricing that we're going to use today is based on IMAP. Always refer to your price sheets for accurate and appropriate pricing. We are excited to be back to our live webinars. We're going to be doing them at 8 a.m. on Wednesdays for you. And as I mentioned, today's golden. Next week will be Euroface. And then our login does remain the same for every webinar. So if you're here today, you know how to get here. Feel free to share that with your colleagues. If you don't have a login, please let us know. You can reach any of your Decor Rep team for that information. If you can't find our emails, you can grab that off of our website, which is decorlighting.com. So let's jump right in. This is the Carver, another great line extension here. I love the black and white. It's a milky white glass contrast here. Very vintage, kind of industrial style. This is also available in a linear pendant and a mini pendant that came out in Q4, as well as a 3-light semi-flush in Q4. And you'll notice now we also offer that same little semi-flush with the black and milky glass as well. I would recommend at least one piece from this series, especially with the milky white and the black combination for display. We also have an extension to the Kinsley series. You see that it's an antique black iron, and then it's also available in antique ivory and the teal shade. And this is the bath series. It is also available, came out first in like a 14-inch pendant. And you'll see on the next slide, we have a semi-flush available as well. And in the semi-flush, you'll notice there is also a rust finish. These are approved for damp locations, really designed for kind of an eclectic look or a farmhouse, very vintage inspired here. This is a hand-painted distress finish to help create that weathered look that you see on this series. Then Nassau takes us right to the coast. We have 2 pendants released here. This is the single, and it does take a 60-watt medium, 100-watt medium base actually. Would also look great with a nice amber vintage bulb. This does feature a textured hammered clear glass, which just is really accented beautifully with the kind of that almost a protective coating wrapped with that beautiful natural rope that is wrapped around it. This is the single mini, and we also have a 3-light, and this has candelabra base bulbs. You'll know that it does have that tassel accent that is removable. So if your customer does not appreciate that, they can choose to have it on or off. I do know at this time that the single 1-light is on back order, but I would say I looked at stock for all of the products we're going to see today, and I would say probably 95 to 97% of them are in stock. Kind of just depends on which exact variation that you're selecting from the series. Another line extension, we've seen the patent extend, I think, every single quarter since it came out. Here we have the single light coming out in this burnished champagne bronze finish. At this time, this is the only size that's available in this champagne finish. But my expectation would be you're going to see more of it in the next release. This is also available in black and chrome. There is a flush mount, a semi-flush mount, and there's several pendants for this as well. This is such a versatile design, very transitional in style, looks beautiful in a very traditional setting and even a more modern setting. This is also damp location rated and is on a chain, so easily installed on a sloped ceiling as well. And we have this ever popular Smith series. We're moving to the outdoors with it. Very versatile style again. You have a slightly textured black finish on this one, and it does have a UV coating on it to keep it that deep black color. With this one, you do have to use a tubular bulb, either a 5-inch or a 7.5-inch will work, but they are medium base. And this is approved obviously then for wet locations as it is outdoor. And you can see that you have the option of the opal glass or a clear CD glass on this one. And if you haven't noticed, the pricing is up on the left corner under the name of the fixture on the slides. This is one of my favorites in this release. This is a new series. This is the pen. We're seeing the chandelier here. There's also a flush mount that we'll see on the next slide. But you'll notice it is a white shade. If you look at that picture with shown with the lights off, you can see a little bit more clearly how white it actually is. The thing of note with this piece, outside of its lovely design, is it takes 6 60-watt light bulbs. So a ton of light can come out of this piece. Again, love the contrast between the black and the white shade on this one. This is another piece that I would say is a must for display. And here is that little flush mount I was talking about. This takes 3 60-watt light bulbs. So again, a great amount of light coming out of this piece as well. And the ever popular Orwell series, we see an extension as well. We're going to glass shades now. We have the option of an opal or a clear glass shade, shown here on the burnished champagne bronze or the black. This also is available in the 2 light and the 3 light. And we have the little semi-flush as well that's in these new finishes with the glass. So basically they've just extended that shade option, and it will be available on most items in the Orwell series. This is another series that if you don't have a piece of this at least on display, you're, I'd say, missing out. This is a great seller and a really popular style right now. These are also damp location rated, so that you have that in your back pocket as well. And again, they're just really playing off that vintage industrial style so well. It's popular right now. This is a new series. This is the Avon. This is using a fiber rope that's really braided, and then it's hand woven onto the shade. It's a bleached raffia rope that they're using. Really complements that black textured finish that they're using. You can see actually on this next slide, there's a close-up of that textured metal band. Again, working off the contrast between the light and the dark, I think is such a elegant way of showing this piece. You're going to get a little ambient light up and down, especially on this 2 light we've got as a great option. These are approved for damp locations. There's also a couple of pendants here. We have a 16 or a 20 inch. One is a 1 light and one is a 3 light. So lots of options in this series as well. And then the little semi-flush. The Bartlett is another line extension. They've had the exterior, but it was more of a tight mount. Here we have it with an added arm. They are available in the natural black and the textured bronze. I don't know if you can see the difference on the slides or not, but there are 2 finishes. And again, this is that UV coated fade resistant finish. And the inside of these is kind of a painted gold as well. These are approved for wet locations. This is also available in a bath series, a pendant, and a semi-flush. So another line extension that we're seeing here on the Bartlett. And the Gabby. This is a new flush mount. This is kind of actually the base for the next couple of slides that you will see. This is an LED, very transitional or modern. I mean, it's so simple, it can really fit anywhere. This features an opal acrylic diffuser, and it is an LED, as I mentioned, 3000K, 90 CRI. On this version, we have a 13 and a 10 inch. The 13 inch is 1900 lumens and works at 24 watts, and the 10 inch offers 960 lumens at 16 watts. We have the 2 finishes in this, the matte black or the brushed champagne bronze. And then you'll notice the Kieran here is kind of the base of the Gabby with some additional accents added. Overall, this one is one size, 24-inch diameter. But as I mentioned, that glass is the 9 inch. So with the body, it's at that core of the piece is 10 inches in diameter approximately. Again, this is available matte black, and then also on the top, you'll see the white gold finish as well. And this is damp location rated, as are all of these flush mounts that we're looking at today. And lastly, we have the Astra. Again, you can kind of see that Gabby body in the center and with a little decoration added. This is 2 sizes, 13.5 inches and 16.5 inches. 960 lumens and 1900 lumens respectively. Again, staying with that acrylic opal diffuser, 3000K and 90 CRI. With this one, we have it available in the matte black only at this time. And as I mentioned earlier, these are all UL approved for damp locations. That is the end of the Q1 release. Just a reminder, Golden does a release every quarter, a little bit smaller. It really adds some flexibility on their end, and I've been really happy with how it's been working out. I hope you have been too. But a couple of things I wanted to note just as far as Golden's resources. Their website is phenomenal if you haven't been on it. Great opportunity to see fixtures in 3D. There's also you can sort by collection, see the full thing. Spec sheets, catalog, and supplements are always there. They do a great job of keeping that updated. Also, they have a portal available to you. And if you aren't using that, I would highly suggest that you do. There's a user guide that kind of walks you through all the features. There's a PO Express order tracking. You can always have access to that 24/7. So if you aren't using the portal and have any questions on how to get connected, just let your rep know and we can certainly take care of that for you. And I also wanted just to point out in the supplement for 2021 Q1, you'll see the image here. What they did is they kind of, at the end of it, they have a launch rewind. So they've included Q2 through 4 in the last several pages of the supplement. So take a peek through there as kind of a compilation of everything. It's also a great way to just kind of see how their style is working and how all their fixtures kind of work together and play off of each other to really help expand their line. I think they've done a great job with that. Otherwise, that is the end of what we have for today. Thank you very much. Hopefully we see you next Wednesday at 8, where we're going to cover, like I mentioned earlier, the Euroface, their January collection that was released. So if anybody has any questions right now, feel free to ask. Otherwise, hopefully, like I mentioned, I'll see you next week.